They never wanted you to know this. What you're about to hear will rewire how you see people, power, and respect forever. Once you see it, there's no going back. Listen carefully. What you are about to hear is not something you will find in classrooms, not something your parents ever told you, and certainly not something society wants you to know. Because once you understand this, you will never see people the same way again. For centuries, men lived in illusions, illusions of loyalty, illusions of love, illusions of truth. They believed people acted rationally, that goodness was rewarded, that honesty was always respected. But those illusions are weapons. They are chains designed to keep you weak, predictable, and easy to control. 500 years ago, a man named Machiavelli looked at the world with cold, brutal honesty. He stripped away the comforting lies and exposed the reality of human nature. His writings were considered dangerous, even evil, because they revealed the truth most people are too afraid to face. The church banned his book. Kings feared it. Yet behind closed doors, rulers, generals, and billionaires still study it today. Why? Because his ideas are not theories. They are laws. Laws of human psychology. Laws that do not care about your opinion, your feelings, or your morals. They simply are. And the first law is this. People are emotional, not rational. Think about it. Every day, you see men and women making choices that destroy them. A man works a job he hates, but stays because he's afraid of change. A woman cries about being hurt by toxic partners, but keeps choosing the same kind of man again and again. A friend asks you for advice, nods as if he agrees, then ignores every word you said. Do these sound like rational decisions? Number, they are emotional decisions disguised as logic. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He wrote, "Men judge more by the eye than the hand." In other words, appearances matter more than reality. It doesn't matter how much effort you put into something if it doesn't look valuable to others. It doesn't matter how deeply you care about someone if they don't feel it. People are moved by emotion, by fear, by desire, by jealousy, by hope. Not by truth, not by facts. That is why logic almost never wins arguments. That is why the smartest man in the room is often ignored, while the most confident speaker is celebrated. Look around. The products that sell the most are not always the best, but the ones marketed with the most excitement. The leaders who gain the most followers are not always the wisest, but the ones who can ignite passion. The men who attract the most attention are not necessarily the kindest, but the ones who project mystery, confidence, or danger. This is the reality. If you want influence, do not focus on facts. Focus on feelings. The man who controls emotions controls the room. But here is where most people go wrong. They think this means becoming manipulative, pretending to be something they are not. That's not power. That's desperation. Real power is different. Real power is when you understand that humans are emotional creatures, and you learn to align your presence, your words, and your actions in a way that makes people feel something unforgettable. Do you want to be respected? Don't lecture people with logic. Radiate calm confidence, and they will feel safe around you. Do you want to be followed? Don't just explain your vision. Make them believe in the fire behind your eyes. Do you want to be desired? Don't tell them how great you are. Create an aura of scarcity and let them feel the weight of your absence. This is not manipulation. This is reality. This is psychology. And if you refuse to accept it, you will remain invisible in a world that only responds to feelings. You will be ignored, overlooked, and forgotten, while those who understand human emotion will rise above you, even if they are less intelligent, less skilled, and less deserving. The world is not fair. It has never been fair, but it is predictable. And predictability is power. The moment you stop expecting people to be rational is the moment you gain freedom. Freedom from disappointment, freedom from false expectations, freedom from betrayal. Because once you see that people move by emotion, you stop fighting it and you start using it. And that is the first step to power. But that is only the beginning, because once you accept that people are emotional, another brutal truth is revealed. Their loyalty is not what you think it is. You've been taught that loyalty is everything. Stand by your friends. Be loyal to your company. Stay faithful no matter what. But here is the raw, unfiltered truth. Loyalty is not permanent. Loyalty is conditional. Think about it. The people you once called best friends, where are they now? The promises that were once sworn with tears and blood, how many of them are still kept? The company you worked for years, giving your time, your energy, your life. Would they hesitate to replace you tomorrow if they found someone cheaper, faster, or younger? This is not pessimism. This is reality. Human loyalty lasts only as long as needs are being met. When needs change, so does loyalty. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He wrote, "Men are ungrateful, fickle, liars, and deceivers. They shun danger and are greedy for gain." Harsh words, but brutally accurate. People stay loyal when it benefits them, when they feel safe, when they feel rewarded, when they feel you can still give them something. The moment those feelings vanish, so does their loyalty. Ask yourself, why do people cheat in relationships? Why do employees quit despite years of service? Why do friends disappear when you are at your lowest? Because their loyalty was never about you. It was about what they gained from you. And if you still believe in unconditional loyalty, you set yourself up for the deepest betrayals. History proves it. Julius Caesar, the most powerful man in Rome, wasn't brought down by foreign enemies, but by his closest allies, men who had sworn eternal loyalty, men he trusted with his life. They smiled in his face, then stabbed him in the back. Kings have been overthrown by their own brothers, generals betrayed by their soldiers, business partners destroyed by each other's greed. Even families, bound by blood, fracture when money, power, or jealousy enters the picture. So, what does this mean for you? Should you stop trusting everyone? Should you live in constant paranoia? Number, that's weakness. The answer is simple. Trust people, but never depend on their loyalty. Use loyalty as a tool, not as a foundation. Understand that people are loyal to their interests. If you can align their interest with yours, you will keep them. If not, they will leave. That's not betrayal. It's human nature. Think of loyalty like a rental agreement. As long as both sides are benefiting, the agreement continues. But the moment the benefits end, the contract is broken. You cannot be surprised. You cannot be shocked. You must be prepared. This is why powerful men throughout history never relied on loyalty alone. They created systems of control, of fear, of reward, to keep people aligned with their interests. A wise ruler, Machiavelli said, is feared more than he is loved, because love fades, fear lasts. But here's the paradox. You don't need to be cruel to understand this. You just need to be realistic. When you stop expecting loyalty, you stop being devastated when people fail you. You stop giving blind trust to those who don't deserve it. You stop confusing temporary companionship with eternal devotion. And that freedom changes you. Imagine walking through life, knowing that betrayal is not the exception, but the rule. Imagine how calm you would be when someone walks away, not shocked, not broken, just unmoved, because you already knew it could happen. Imagine how much stronger you become when your foundation is not built on others' loyalty, but on your own discipline, your own strength, your own strategy. That is true power. So remember this. Expect loyalty to fade. Prepare for betrayal. Build your life on things no one can take away from you. Because the man who is hardest to betray is the man who never fully depends on loyalty in the first place. Most people see betrayal as the end. They get destroyed, broken, humiliated. They cry, "Why me? I trusted them." But the powerful man thinks differently. He sees betrayal not as an ending, but as information. When someone betrays you, they are not just hurting you. They are revealing themselves. They are showing you their true face, their hidden desires, their secret weakness. Betrayal is not chaos. Betrayal is clarity. Think about it. If someone pretends to be loyal, you live under an illusion. You waste energy feeding a snake, believing it's a friend. But the moment they betray you, the mask falls, the lie shatters, and now you see the truth. That truth is power. History is filled with men who used betrayal as fuel. Take Napoleon. His own generals turned against him, but he didn't collapse. Instead, he studied them. He used their betrayal to understand which men were driven by greed, which by fear, which by ambition. He adapted, he shifted strategy, and for years he kept Europe under his control. Or look at modern business. Competitors betray partnerships, employees leak secrets, allies flip sides. The weak complain. The strong collect data. They ask, "Why did this happen? What did I miss? How can I prevent it next time? And more importantly, how can I use it?" This is the secret. Betrayal sharpens you. Every knife in your back teaches you where to build armor. Every lie told about you trains you to master silence. Every friend turned enemy teaches you who to never trust again. With each betrayal, you evolve from naive to dangerous. But there is a deeper layer. Betrayal itself can be used as a strategy. How? By mastering people's expectations. Most people walk into every relationship expecting blind loyalty. That's why betrayal shatters them. But if you flip the script, if you control when and how betrayal happens, you gain leverage. Consider politics. Leaders pretend to ally with rivals, only to betray them at the perfect moment, when their guard is down. That betrayal doesn't just remove an enemy. It sends a message to everyone watching. This is what happens when you trust too easily. Fear spreads faster than the loyalty ever could. Or think of negotiation. Sometimes you let the other side believe you are committed. You let them overplay their hand, reveal their strategy, expose their weakness, and then you walk away. To them, it feels like betrayal. To you, it is simply strategy. But beware, betrayal used recklessly destroys you. If you betray everyone, no one will trust you enough to ever stand beside you. Betrayal must be a scalpel, not a hammer. Rare, precise, surgical, done at the right time, to the right target, for the right purpose. The key is this: never fear betrayal and never waste it. When others betray you, study it, learn from it, use it. When you betray, do it only if it elevates you, protects you, or creates power that loyalty never could. Imagine how unshakable you become when betrayal no longer terrifies you. Imagine standing tall while others cry over broken trust, and you stand calm, dissecting the betrayal like a scientist with a specimen. Imagine how unstoppable you become when betrayal is not your weakness, but your weapon. Most people pray they are never betrayed. The strong man prays differently. He prays for betrayal to reveal the snakes early, before they strike too deep. And when you master betrayal, you master one of the darkest truths of power. People will always turn against each other, But the one who understands betrayal never falls victim to it. He commands it. You fear betrayal. You fear lies. You fear enemies hiding in the dark. But what if I told you the most dangerous enemy you will ever face is not outside of you? It is inside. It is the weakness within yourself. Think about it. 1,000 betrayals cannot destroy you if your mind is strong. But a single weakness, laziness, fear, doubt, can ruin everything you build. The truth is brutal. Most men are not defeated by others. They are defeated by themselves. They quit too early. They get distracted too easily. They drown in pleasure, in comfort, in excuses. This is why strength through discipline is not optional. It is survival. Ask yourself, who controls you more, your ambition or your temptations? Do you control your habits, or do your habits control you? Because here's the dark truth. The world doesn't need to destroy you if you're already destroying yourself. History is littered with kings, warriors, and empires that fell not because of external enemies, but because of internal rot. Rome was not conquered in a single battle. It collapsed from decadence, corruption, and the softening of its people. Great generals lost not to the enemy's sword, but to their own arrogance. Business empires crumbled, not because of competition, but because of greed and complacency at the top. The same is true for you. You will not fail because of enemies plotting in the shadows. You will fail because you allowed your mind to weaken, your body to soften, your discipline to vanish. So, what does it mean to defeat the enemy within? It means choosing discipline over desire. It means rising before the sun when your body screams to sleep. It means working in silence when others are wasting time chasing validation. It means sacrificing comfort now to build unshakable strength for later. But here's the paradox. The stronger you grow inside, the less external betrayal can harm you. When your foundation is discipline, no storm can collapse it. When your fuel is self-control, no betrayal can starve you. When your mind is sharper than a blade, no enemy can surprise you. Machiavelli wrote that men who cannot rule themselves will never rule others. This is why discipline is not just personal. It is political. It is strategic. It is the very foundation of power. A disciplined man is untouchable. He cannot be bribed by pleasure, broken by pain, or enslaved by comfort. But beware. The inner enemy never disappears. It waits. It whispers. It tempts you with shortcuts, with soft options, with the false promise of tomorrow. This is why discipline is not a choice you make once. It is a war you fight every day. And only those who keep fighting, who keep choosing strength over weakness, rise to the highest levels of power. So, remember this. Betrayal outside is predictable. Betrayal inside is deadly. Conquer yourself, and no one else can conquer you. Because the greatest victory in life is not over armies or enemies or rivals. It is over the weakness inside your own skin. You have faced betrayal. You have fought the war inside yourself. Now comes the final stage. The transformation from ordinary man into something greater. Not just strong, not just disciplined, but untouchable. What does it mean to be untouchable? It means you rise above the games others play. It means you no longer beg for respect. You command it. It means no betrayal, no insult, no storm can shake you from your throne. Untouchable power is not about muscles, money, or armies. It is about presence, aura, control. It is about walking into a room and making people feel the weight of your silence. It is about building yourself into such a force that loyalty and fear become automatic. Look at history's true giants, men who were not just leaders, but forces of nature. Alexander the Great, who made his soldiers march through deserts simply because his will was stronger than their thirst. Machiavelli, who understood the mechanics of power so deeply that rulers centuries later still use his words as blueprints. Or modern leaders, who bend nations, corporations, and millions of people to their vision. What makes them different? They mastered two things: control over themselves and control over others. First, they built discipline so solid that no temptation could buy them, no fear could break them. Second, they mastered strategy, how to turn betrayal into fuel, how to turn allies into soldiers, how to turn silence into dominance. The untouchable man does not chase validation. He does not explain himself. He does not waste energy proving his worth. He simply becomes so valuable, so dangerous, so disciplined, that the world has no choice but to orbit around him. But here's the final secret. Being untouchable does not mean you are safe. It means you are prepared. Prepared for betrayal. Prepared for war. Prepared for sacrifice. And because you are prepared, nothing surprises you, nothing weakens you, nothing destroys you. Imagine this version of yourself. You walk through life with calmness because you no longer fear loss. You speak with authority because you no longer doubt your own mind. You command respect because you have built strength no one else can give or take away. This is the destiny of the disciplined. This is the reward of betrayal turned into wisdom. This is the path of those who dare to rise above weakness. In the end, remember this: loyalty can be bought, fear can be faked, respect can be demanded, but true power, untouchable power, can only be built through discipline, through struggle, through betrayal, through conquering yourself. So do not fear the knife in your back. Do not fear the battle within. Embrace them, for they are not curses. They are the forge that shapes you. Because the world does not belong to the loudest, the richest, or the most loved. The world belongs to those who become untouchable.